Good morning. It's Saturday the 21st of June. Out walking with the boys in the vineyards, and what can I tell you? Well, it's been an absolute crap week, to be honest. Week 7, it's a 9-week course I was doing. Week 7 is always the hardest week for me. Bit of a change in routine. I've got, apart from teaching, I've also got to organise final projects for my students. I've got to mark essays, the case studies that they write, and I've got to have lots of additional meetings on top of that. And it just becomes a lot to do when you're doing it all on your own. And so every time this happens, this is the 8th cohort I've done, we've had to arrange for this. It just gets, it's going to be a bad week, even before the week starts. But this week in particular, this wasn't nice. I had a student just decide to be sick by their own volition because they didn't like coding, and because it's going to be stressful next week with a new final project. Just thought I'd take some days off, really. Was pretty much their attitude. When I said I was disappointed that they couldn't tell me that they were feeling unwell, because I knew I'm calling them bullshit on what they said. Excuse my French. I just don't deal well with someone just saying, "Oh, I was sick." Literally, I spoke to them the evening before in a one-to-one session, and I said, "Is there anything that you want to discuss with me?" And they didn't say anything. They said, "Oh no, everything's perfect." But managed to go to see the doctor the next morning and get signed off. That's a bit contrived. So I call them out bullshit on this in the politest possible way. And while I'm teaching my lesson, I come back to my Slack messages and I've just got a wall of abuse. Literally, I've just been told how terrible person I am, how I'm not a caring person, how I don't care about the welfare of the students. You take it to, it goes to bed with you at night, It's not nice when someone has to call shit on, call you out on nonsense and not even true. They've since deleted their messages to me. And this is kind of a difficult situation where people can just unsay what they said, but you still got it. I read it. It hits me. I didn't have to take a screen capture of it or anything like that. I mean, it's not what I do. But you can't unhear things when someone says something. And frankly, on what they said alone was enough to kick the student off the course. But the fact is, final project is dependent on group work, and not that I care that this person ever worked in a group again, but it just screws someone else over because they're working in small groups. So if I take that student out, then the other person suffers for no reason at all. And so it puts me in a difficult situation where I don't really want to either have this student ever in my sight again, but secondly, I don't want the other student to suffer. So yeah, it's diplomacy makes my life hell sometimes, and I still have to live with this absolute nonsense, which obviously is not true about me, but it just, if someone wants to hurt you and they can, they'll do everything they can to do so, and it's just not nice. It shows the colour of who they are and how they behave. Anyway, so aside from that, been alone all week, which hasn't helped either. Let's move my hand out of the way. I'm just bouncing around with my ideas. Actually, got the dogs off lead now. Dogs love running around here, and actually Gus, after misbehaving a few times, he's calmed down. He knows his boundaries now, so he knows he can't chase things through the vineyards. As much as he loves to like sprint off down one of these and try and catch a bird or something, or a mouse or whatever it is that he's seen, he stopped doing that now. So he's a lot calmer. He just stays on the track. Yeah, been working on the garden, almost got everything finished. Quite impressed at how quick it was to actually assemble a gate. After struggling to just get the post up, I was trying to get a post fitted, installed against the wall. The problem being that the wall has actually got to get to the house, has a has like a 5 centimeter or 6 centimeter insulation, external insulation on it. So basically the brick wall has an additional 5 centimeters of thickness on the outside of foam, and then on top of the foam we've got some plaster or render or such, and basically you can't fix anything to that render because behind it is this foam. But I found some fixtures that actually are designed for it, so that's made do there. And while they're not the strongest fixtures in the world, for a garden gate I think it should be enough. So it should have about 20 or 30 kilos of resistance there. Gaz, buddy, Gaz, hey, come here. So that's that. And once I got the post up and everything's secure and everything's level, it was actually so easy to put the gate up, to make up a gate. I actually surprised myself how easy it was. Never built a gate before. It's not something I'm commonly doing, but it was actually surprising how easy it was to get that all done. Build a gate from a plan in my head with no dimensions and no fixed ideas of how it was all going to go, but it actually ended up really well, so happy with that. And now today I'm going to be doing a lot of more garden work today to try and get everything finished. Hopefully get it all done today so that Lisa can come this week and have everything done, so that'd be good. All right, well, aside from that, world news: Orange Clown is still being a clown. Tension in the Middle East. And I don't know. Plane crash last week in India. What else? Was it Pakistan? I can't remember. But yeah, things in the world. Yeah, not much else really to report. Nothing I really care about. Alright guys, see ya, bye.